All right, everybody. Now let's talk about camera mounting locations, because in a church, we have a beautiful space, very kind of iconic, beautiful space, and we need to respect the space, but also add a camera to live stream the services. So how do we do that? Well, if you have a very modern looking church and you're okay with having a tripod, that is one area. So let's just type this out. Mounting locations. One is we can just sit it on a tripod, and that way we can really get it up high, and we can mount the camera. We can put it in the church on a tripod, and that is a really easy way to go ahead and get started with adding cameras in your church. The second way is we can wall mount the camera. Now the nice thing about this is if you have drywall, you can run the cables, especially drywall and drop ceiling is the easiest. So if you've got a wall here, all right, and then here's like the church and everything, you could put the camera right here on the wall and have all the cables run through the wall and back to wherever you need them to go, and no one's going to see any cables. It's the most professional, easy way to do it. Okay, so that's a wall mount, and I'm going to show you pictures of all of this as well in a minute. All right, so then we also have, there's two different types of ceiling mounts. So we have a flush ceiling mount, and this looks really clean and slick if you can find a spot for it. So if this is the ceiling, camera attaches right to the ceiling. So let's go ahead and just go to some pictures, and there's one more as well that we'll look at. So let's go here. So first of all, here's the wall mount. Very, very simple. Made in America, 4 wall mounts. There's a place for the cables to come out. There's a couple pictures of it mounted on a wall. Here's the flush mount. So you can see, let's see if I can find a nice picture. You can kind of see it there. You can see it here. There's flush mounted to a ceiling. So really nice way to hide it. You can do a white camera on a white ceiling, and it's very non-obtrusive and easy to use. Now, in certain scenarios, if you have a really high vaulted ceiling, even though it would be nice to mount it up there on the high vaulted ceiling, the camera angle itself is not going to be ideal. So we can actually use a pole mount. So that's number 3 here that we have. Sorry, number 4 is a pole mount. And we also sell a pole mount top plate. Let me show you what that looks like here. See, we have this top plate here. Now again, you're probably going to need to talk to your facilities manager or get someone to help you install this properly. But you can then have the pipe come down 6, 8, 10 feet from a vaulted ceiling and really get the camera in an ideal position. So there's quite a few ways to figure out how to get the cameras installed non-obtrusively and then running cabling. Now, very quick tip on cabling. A lot of times churches need to run cabling 100 feet, 200 feet, because you have to go up a wall, that's 8 feet, down a trestled area. There's so many different ways to run cabling. HD-SDI is the most reliable, easy to extend cabling available today. Network cabling, people say, oh, why don't I just run Cat 5? Well, network cabling has latency involved, and it's possible to receive the video over the network streaming port on our cameras, but you're going to have to delay your audio to match everything up, and it's not suggested. IP is great for control and streaming a preview and a few other things such as IP joystick and all those other things, but it's not great for as your main video source yet. We hope that will change in the future. HDMI cannot run more than 100 feet. We really don't suggest it over 50 feet. So HD-SDI is your long run situation. And then there's the IP, and then there's component, which you can extend over Cat 5. Now, the only other thing that's been really nice for churches is that our SDI models now have something called, I'm going to make one more thing here. It's called PoE. Well, what is PoE? That's Power over Ethernet, okay? So imagine if you could run, instead of having to hire an electrician to put in power for the camera, if you're putting 2 or 3 cameras in, that can be expensive to hire an electrician. Now, if the electrician can also install the mounts, maybe it's worth it. But you can actually power the cameras over a PoE, and there's very cheap $20 power over Ethernet injectors, where at your broadcast studio, you can have the PoE switch or PoE injector, and then it powers the camera for the pan, tilt, and zoom, video, and control. So that's a great way to simplify and reduce your budget for deploying these cameras. All right, let's go to the next.
Click to watch another exciting PTZOptics video, and don't forget to subscribe. Tune in Fridays at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern to join our live show with new industry experts interviewed every week.